Medical credit cards. 25 reasons why you should consider having one, whether you're healthy, sick, or something in between. Keep in mind that 2/3 of all bankruptcies in America every year are tied to medical issues, according to the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Are you one disease away from bankruptcy? We hope not. Watch this show to learn how to fund your healthcare costs, including free and cheap options such as special loans, crowdfunding campaigns, and medical credit cards. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy today. I hope you are doing fantastic. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about medical credit cards. 25 reasons why you should consider having one, whether you are healthy, sick, or something in between. Now, what is a medical credit card? It is a card that is designed to pay for medical expenses. It's usually possible to apply for a medical credit card at a doctor's office. You can also apply for a medical credit card before you visit and actually verify whether it's accepted by your healthcare provider, right? So remember, though, that medical credit cards might not cover every medical expense. So card issuers typically have specific services you can pay for with the card, such as LASIK, dental care, or cosmetic surgery. Now, when it comes to the payment terms, those cards usually require you to charge a minimum amount for a purchase to qualify for interest-free financing, right? So the card issuer, depending upon your credit score, may offer you a zero interest plan for up to 2 years or 3 years, depending upon the card. In some cases, you may even be offered a reduced interest plan that will cover bigger purchases that need extended financing. I'm talking 36 to 60 months, for example. Now, what are the best medical specific credit cards out there? So if you know you're going to need a medical procedure, there are a few cards you might want to double check. These cards are designed to be only used to pay for medical expenses, so they are limited in use. Remember, if you get one of those, you're not going to be able to use it to buy groceries. All right. So the card is just for medical expenses, and they tend to offer lower interest rates and also more generous repayment terms than other credit cards. Now, there are a gazillion of cards out there, but 3 of the best cards are the CareCredit. Now, with CareCredit, you can pay for your medical procedure and qualify for a financing term of 6, 12, 18, 24, 36 months at no interest, as long as you make the minimum payments on time. Of course, it also depends on your credit score. Now, however, you want to keep in mind that CareCredit is a deferred interest card, which means that if you don't pay off the balance in full by the end of your promotional period, interest is charged from the original purchase date. So you have interest charged retroactively. So you can use CareCredit for a series of interventions: cosmetic, day spa, dentistry, dermatology, specialist, hearing, LASIK and vision, primary and urgent care, veterinary, weight loss. The second card that might be interesting for you is Access One Med Card. Now, depending on how long you need to finance your purchase, you could qualify for 0% APR or a low interest rate with Access One Med Card. Now, like CareCredit, Access One Med Card is a deferred interest card. Now, if you have poor credit, though, Access One Med Card may make sense for you. The company is open to applicants with all credit scores. Now, it covers a lot of stuff. The card covers general healthcare procedures. It covers some specific procedures depending upon your situation. You need to tell your Access One Med Card representative while you apply for this, and that's pretty much it. The third card is Wells Fargo Health Advantage. Now, this is a card that you can apply for this card directly through your healthcare provider. It has low APR options, but make sure that it does not offer, unlike the other two, a 0% APR promotional period. So you can use the Wells Fargo Health Advantage for a series of interventions: hearing care, hearing aids, eye surgery, dental care, vet care. It also has some practice benefits. So they allow you to get, if you are a healthcare provider, they provide quick responses and quick decisions. So the patient can apply at the practice. Okay. And they say that they will give you on the spot credit decisions. I'm talking about Wells Fargo. They have consistent credit approvals and competitive credit limits. So this is pretty much it. I will be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you here. We'll still continue our conversation today around 25 reasons why you should consider a medical credit card. We're still going through the credit card concept and really explain to folks what this means. And I want to talk to you now about something called alternative financing options. So credit cards aren't the only way to pay for your medical bills, right? If you get sick, you can't afford it. Credit cards are great, but they're not the only option. There are several other options you can use, and this could be cheaper also. Now, if you have a high credit score, that's fantastic. Now, what are the alternative financing options for a medical intervention? Loans. There are companies that specialize in medical loans. Okay. They will require that you have a high, FICO score, probably above 600. But yes, you can basically get an unsecured loan that gives you an APR between 5% to 20%. You can use your home equity. So if you own a home and have decent credit, you can tap into any equity that has built up over the years for the funds by getting a home equity loan, a home equity line of credit, also called HELOC, or a cash out refinance. The rates are pretty low on those transactions. They range from 3 to 5%, and they're lower than the personal loans. Then you also have another source of financing, that's retirement savings. Some 401k plans allow you to take hardship withdrawals or loans against your savings for medical bills. You can also take early withdrawals from traditional and Roth IRA to pay for unreimbursed medical expenses. Now, remember that there is a tax penalty. There is a tax, I would say, deterrence there. There's fiscal deterrence that the legislator has put there. And to avoid that tax penalty, when you withdraw early, the unreimbursed medical expenses must exceed 10% of your adjusted gross income. If it doesn't, and you are under 59 and a half years old, your withdrawal will be subject to income tax plus an additional 10% tax on top of that. Now, other options for financing your medical bills, you can try to negotiate a lower charge or look for another provider that will charge less for the procedure, right? And you can go online and you want to shop around and compare and contrast. Now, let's talk now about life insurance to cover medical costs. Now, if you need money in an emergency, one place to look is your insurance policy. That is, if you have what is called permanent life insurance available as either whole life or universal life, you can actually tap into that, because unlike term life insurance, which has a set limit on its coverage period and does not accumulate cash value, universal life does have a cash component, especially later on, right? In the early years of the policy, that's for sure, most of the premium goes to funding the indemnity benefits. But as the policy matures, cash value increases. We've actually dedicated a whole show or a whole series about life insurance and how to use it as an additional source of income to retirement, to medical bills. So you might want to double check that. It's a great series that we have done a few months ago, and the content is still relevant. Now, let me give you, before we sort of move on to the next section, a few tips to lowering your medical bills. Anytime you get a medical bill, think about disputing the billing inaccuracies, if any. So before you pay the bill, take some time to double check your invoice to make sure everything is correct. So if you find any incorrect information, you want to call the healthcare provider or your insurer to dispute the errors. Always negotiate a lower payment. Even if you don't qualify for financial assistance but still need to lower your bill, consider negotiating with your doctor or hospital. You never know. You may be able to negotiate an out-of-network bill down to a more manageable cost. Constantly ask for discounts, because some hospitals you just need to ask. They'll never tell you, but if you don't ask, you'll never know. Some hospitals are willing to provide discounts if you are uninsured, even if you don't qualify for free or reduced cost care. Now you have to double check with the hospital, because every hospital has its own policy. But one thing for sure, if you're not insured, don't have coverage for the medical procedure you need, or need to pay out of pocket for another reason, you can ask about getting a discount. Another thing you want to do is you can explore financial assistance, right? If you're struggling to make ends meet, you may qualify for free or reduced cost care. A lot of hospitals and healthcare institutions in the United States often have financial assistance programs to help you pay for the care you need. The criteria for financial assistance vary, but these programs generally will consider your income, your assets, and whether the care you receive is a medical necessity. You may also be able to work out a payment plan with the hospital if you need extra time to pay the debt. The thing is, you just need to ask. Folks, you want to ask, you want to talk to your doctor, you want to talk to the hospital's accounting department, you want to look for information about your hospital's financial assistance program on its website or through its customer service department. Another thing you can do to lower your medical bills is to acquire or to sign up for discount plans. And this relates to prescription drug. So the prescription drugs discount plans promote big savings for patients without insurance. So on the internet, you have a lot of websites that claim up to 80% or 90% off retail prices on expensive medication with a free card, right? The thing is, you don't want to, you never know what's happening on the internet, but just be worried that the company that is asking you to give you this sort of discounted price may be fishing for personal information. So I would say there are discount plans on the internet, but not up to 80% or 90%. You might find something around 30% or 20% or 40%, and those would be legit. Of course, you want to double check with your healthcare provider before buying that kind of medication on the internet. You can also reach out to a charity if you want to lower your medical bills. We'll talk about that in the next section. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation today around 25 reasons why you should consider a medical credit card. I'm just going through a few things before we give you the 25 reasons. And I was talking to you earlier about how to lower your medical bills. Also talk to you about life insurance to cover medical costs, and also the alternative financing options. Now, let's talk about how charities may help you pay your bills. Before I do so, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on the notification bell so you can receive new show alerts every single day, because we release new shows every single day, rain or shine. So charities that help you pay your bills. You don't have to do this alone. There are charities that help individuals pay their medical bills. So if your child is sick or hospitalized, you can reach out to a couple of charities. If you yourself are sick or hospitalized, you could do the same. There are charities that help with medical bills and other bills related to medical expenses, co-pays, deductibles, and medications. They could add up quickly. All right. So here you don't have to look for those charities locally. You can actually go on the internet, and there are gazillions of charities out there. You can reach out to local churches, synagogues, mosques, or Buddhist temples, or any other religious congregations. You can go to the state charity care. Many states enact charity care, that's also called uncompensated care, requirements for patients who are underinsured, uninsured, or ineligible for other government programs such as Medicaid. Under the program, people who meet income and assets requirements can receive financial aid to cover medically necessary services in acute care, inpatient, and outpatient facilities. You also have other states program. Every state is different, but the states programs that I'm talking about here include the TANF, the TANF, so that's the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, or the SSI, this is the Supplemental Security Income. You can also reach out to nonprofits. Nonprofits, there are several out there. You have Modest Needs. This is a nonprofit organization that provides short-term financial assistance to individuals and families in temporary crisis who work and live just above the poverty level. You have RIP, Medical Debts. This is a charity that claims to locate, buy, and forgive medical debt on behalf of individual donors, philanthropists, and organizations who step up to provide medical relief, financial relief for people burdened by unpaid and unpayable medical bills. When it comes to travel and lodging, those are expenses that can add up very quickly, right? So most healthcare plans do not cover when the patient must drive or fly to a distant city and stay in a hotel for days, weeks, or months. However, many charitable organizations, foundations, and their associations step in to provide financial assistance with this out-of-pocket travel and lodging expenses. Now, so when it comes to transportation, you have patient airlift services. They arrange free air transportation. You have Mercy Medical Angels. They remove barriers via air and ground transportation. We have Air Charity Network. They provide free access to free transportation. And when it comes to lodging, you have also an array of organizations that take care of you if you are in a situation where you can't pay your medical bill. So you have Healthcare Hospitality Network. This is a nationwide group of nonprofits that provides lodging and support services for patients seeking treatment. You have the National Association of Hospitality Houses. They support homes that help and heal to be more effective in their service to parents and families. You have the Ronald McDonald House, which keeps families with sick children and near the care of resources they need. You have Joe's House that helps cancer patients and their families find a place to stay when traveling away from work, from home for medical treatment. So that's for charities. You also have foundations. So you have the Health Well Foundation. You have Cancer Care. You have the Catastrophic Illness and Children Relief Fund. You have the Pain Foundation. You have the United Healthcare Children's Foundation, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now remember though that charitable organizations helping with medical bills can help you pay for your medical bills or other related expenses. These nonprofits generally rely on the generosity of donors. Therefore, their ability to offer resources often falls short of the overwhelming need. Let's talk now about you can also raise money to cover your medical bills. Here are 10 sure ways this is fantastic if you need to undergo an intervention. You need to take care of surgery, hospital bills, fulfill the wish of a terminally ill person, wheelchair and mobility expenses, physical therapy at home or hospice care. And the ways to raise money include donation matching, hosting a fundraising walk, charity auctions, writing letters, using online fundraising methods, selling handmade cards, making flower arrangements, and teaching a class, selling candles also, as well as reaching out to a celebrity on social media. Right? So the thing here I'm trying to say here is that if you have medical credit card, if you have medical bills you can't pay, and you go to a charity, you go to a foundation, and you have not been successful, you can raise money yourself to cover your medical bills. All right? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. Now let's talk about the reasons, the main topic of today's show: 25 reasons why you should consider a medical credit card. Number 1, peace. Number two, using a medical credit card can help you stick to your budget, right? Because after the procedure is done, you'll have plenty of health, energy, and resource to repay the debt. By the way, no, the first reason was peace of mind, not just peace. Well, kind of similar too. Number three, no more daily or nightly panic moments about, oh my God, what will I do if the disease comes back? Number four, no more struggles with should I allow this intervention or shouldn't I? Number five, you'll have fewer hospital bills to worry about and pay. Number six, with a single payment every month, you can quickly do your monthly budget. Number seven, you'll know exactly where you spend your money and won't need a statement to tell you. Number eight, handling emergencies with a ready source of funding is less stressful. Number nine, there's never any fear when thinking about a procedure that the hospital or clinic won't approve of the transaction or that the transaction won't go through. Number 10, less stress and anxiety, especially when you have a clear plan to repay the debt quickly or pay off your balances every month. Number 11, there's zero possibility of being sued by the hospital, clinic, or physician. Think about that, right? You'll never get sued because you have the medical credit card. You can use it. The money's there. There is never any temptation to forego any intervention for your pet now and hope you'll have the money to pay it for later. Number 12, actually number 13, no more relying only on your paycheck to cover your medical expenses. Number 14, you'll have greater clarity on your medical spending. 15, no more constantly checking your bank account balances to see if you have enough money to cover your traditional budget. Number 16, you'll never forget that you spend money on a medical procedure for yourself, a relative, or a pet. 17, you can't afford the charitable treatment for someone, gift, donation, right? Believe me, folks, it's never a good idea to borrow for a philanthropic cause. I mean, you shouldn't donate money that is not yours. But sometimes life can be crazy, and if your heart tells you to do something, or you find yourself in a situation where you have to do it, then it's better to apply for a medical credit card and use it to finance another person's procedure. Number 18, amortize a huge payment over several months, right? Because a medical credit card allows you to amortize a huge payment over several months. It protects your family budget. It stabilizes and improves your cash flows. It helps treat a lifelong condition requiring constant follow-up. It provides lower rates and better repayment conditions than traditional medical loans. You get the treatment you need now and focus on payment later. Number 24, protecting your credit history and credit score is now possible. Number 25, you can use existing cash to pay down other debts. All right, folks, this is the end of today's show. I just want to quickly give you a recap here. So we talked about what is the medical credit card, the best medical credit card out there, the alternative financing options, life insurance to cover medical costs, tips to lowering your medical costs, charities that help you pay your bills. You raised money to cover your medical bills. I gave you 10 sure ways. And last but not the least, 25 reasons why you should always consider a medical credit card. I will see you next time. But until then, stay marvelous.